and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports from Public Media M1 with the latest news from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin in English. I'm Arpad Szőci. Thanks for tuning in. Hungary and Poland can mutually count on each other. That was the message at a lecture series in Budapest, where one of Poland's most conservative-thinking philosophers and co-chair of the European Conservatives and Reformists was one of the lecturers.
Remembering Communism and the New Fault Lines in Europe was the name of the lecture on Monday night at the Budapest Castle Garden Bazaar by Richard Legutko. The Polish philosophy professor was the guest of the Hungarian think tank 21st Century Institute. In his lecture, he said that the West is always trying to direct Central Europeans, but Central Europe has now reawakened to its own self-awareness.
Eastern and Central Europe has the potential which has never been sufficiently utilized. Potential in terms of number of people, cultural achievement, and the richness of tradition. And because of complicated history, sometimes tragic, we've never managed to play the role that we can play in European history. So I think that considering the European Union is now in crisis and our Western partners are not doing a very good job, so probably it would be our turn to help them.
The head of the Prime Minister's office said that Hungary's most loyal alliance, currently within the European Union, is the one with Poland. Gergely Gulyás said that just like in the last century, Poland and Hungary can mutually count on each other. We are proud that 30 years ago, Hungary and Poland were among the leading nations that achieved freedom for Central Europe, Gergely Gulyás said. The lecture series, called Ötvös József, was launched in 2015 by the 21st Century Institute and the Citizens for Hungary Foundation.
The government has announced another 2 programs for settlements with populations under 5,000. The government has set aside about 30 million euros for local municipalities to fix up their community properties, streets, roads, and sidewalks. The goal is to improve the overall quality of life there.
The roof of this doctor's clinic was completely renovated in Telekerendas in the county of Békés. In a few months' time, they will also renovate service accommodations, roads, as well as sidewalks. The settlement of 1,500 received more than 47,000 euros from the Hungarian Village program. We are eager to apply for more programs, as this is the only way we can invest in developments in our settlement, to make it more livable and enjoyable. And naturally, we strive for those living here to stay here, Ferenc Ránkli said. The government has advertised 2 new grant programs. Settlements with a population of less than 5,000 can apply for a program amounting to nearly 30 million euros. Funds may be used for roads, bridges, as well as for the restoration and construction of sidewalks. With these 2 new additions, now 5 programs are available via the Hungarian Village program. These programs can be applied for from April the 8th to May the 8th.
And small settlements in Hungary would love to see top plays performed in their communities. Well, with the government's Mrs. Dairy program, named after Hungary's first ever opera star, their wishes will become reality. Settlements have been asked to apply.
A rehearsal was held for the play entitled Forró mezők or Hot Field by writer Zsigmond Móricz on Monday at the National Theatre in Budapest. The stage decor, as well as the number of actors, makes it possible for this work to be performed at any theatre in the country. I am confident that even the smallest settlements deserve quality productions, and every time a trip like this occurred with the National Theatre, we felt that we really should do more. There is a great need and desire for such productions to take place, especially in places where they are uncommon, Attila Vidnánszky said. From today on, community houses and smaller theatres can register for the Déryné program online at www.deryneprogram.hu. Additionally, theatre companies that would bring these productions to regions which do not boast of regular theatre shows can also apply. Culture is not just a narrow spectrum for the cultural elite. Rather, all Hungarian citizens have a right to access culture and to all of its various aspects, including the theatre arts. Péter Fekete said. The program was granted nearly 3 million euros by the government. The goal is for more and more theatre productions and independent companies to apply, so their productions can be made accessible in small settlements as well.
The largest disability-run cultural space in Europe, as its organizers call it, is celebrating its 4th year of operations. The premier Kult Café, or Cult Café, which also includes a cinema and cultural center in Budapest, is run by the Adopt a Teddy Bear Foundation, founded by one of Hungary's most famous actresses, Mari Töröcsik. Most importantly, it provides working opportunities for people with disabilities. And on its birthday, a lot of Hungarian celebrities showed up for the party.
Monika Sipos works as a waitress at the premier Kult Café in Budapest, which opened 4 years ago. The 34-year-old has a hearing device, but guests don't even realize it, considering how naturally she goes about her job. Everyone is really nice here, Monika Sipos said. Individuals with Down syndrome, autism, and mental disabilities work at the cafe. The hiring of workers occurs the same way it does anywhere. After the first interview, evaluations take place, what level they are at, and what kinds of skills they might need to further develop. I also try to ensure that all those who work here take things step by step. It is really important that this process brings them joy and a sense of success, this mentor said. On the occasion of this 4-year anniversary, famous individuals got behind the counter. Actress Barbara Hegyi said that those who work at the cafe do so in a very precise manner. She said that they are very humble. It is a really important goal that they can work and that there's a place where their work is important, as this determines their day-to-day lives. This greatly affects their own self-worth. Barbara Hegyi said. László B. Tóth, radio anchor, was also asked to pitch in. It is my task to make coffee, which I carried out, László B. Tóth said. During the past 4 years, several workers have moved on from the Kult Café and are currently employed in the regular workforce.
The number of people in Hungary who have tested positive for the coronavirus has now risen to 9. 2 people who were in quarantine as a safety precaution awaiting their test results are among them. Meanwhile, new tightened measures have gone into effect in Hungary. Visiting restrictions now exist at all of Hungary's hospitals and nursing homes as a precaution to prevent the spread of the illness. And the National Ambulance Service has also put an extra 20 vehicles into service in order to be able to handle the volume of suspected cases. And some important information for foreigners living in Hungary in connection with the virus. Hungarian health authorities ask that people regularly wash their hands with soap or with an alcohol-based hand disinfectant, and that they avoid being in contact with people who have a fever. Furthermore, if you have symptoms or you've arrived in Hungary within the past few days from a region where measures have been taken to fight the epidemic, please don't go out in the community. Instead, phone and inform your family physician in Hungary or call one of the numbers on your screen and ask for an English-speaking staff member. Experts will take your call and can explain what possible steps you may have to take. The most important thing is not to panic. You will get expert assistance in Hungary. And that's all for now. But don't forget, you can catch Hungary Reports live every night around 11:20 p.m. Central European Time, and in repeats and online as well. Please stick around now, if you can, for our shows in German, Russian, and Chinese. Thanks very much for watching, and minden jót!